Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to another Kuwait pilot stream. It is 44 minutes after midnight here in Kuwait City, but I wanted to make sure that I do the stream for you guys, and hopefully we will not encounter all the issues that we've had in the first stream today. It was it was disastrous to say the least, but we are here again, ladies and gents, and I want to welcome Dougal McTavish, Altitude X, Luca 1, Kabir, welcome aboard, my friend. Maya, welcome aboard. And TSC 777, welcome, guys. Hello, Dominic, welcome aboard. Glad to have you guys here. And yes, I decided to do this really late stream today to make sure that you guys get the perspective and the insights on the Rotate MD80 in case this is an aircraft that you're on the fence about buying, and also give you guys a good show, I hope, without too much trouble. So we are currently situated at Philadelphia in the United States, and we're going to be heading to Boston Logan International. And our flight today is approximately 47 minutes of airtime and cruising at, I believe, 33,000 feet. Here is a quick brief on our flight today before we begin prepping the aircraft. We are going to be departing runway 27 left, exactly what we've seen earlier today in our previous stream. And we are cruising at 31,000 feet, 33,000 feet, I believe, 31,000, yep. And arriving into Boston Logan International 04 right through the Roebuck 3 arrival. So, without further ado, let me just make sure that I do have the latest sim brief plan loaded here. Yeah. All right, so weather conditions are IFR in Boston, but they are VFR here in Philly, and it looks like it's a busy day here. We can see the aircrafts coming one after the other, landing here at runway 27 right. So, without further ado, ladies and gents, let's go to the beautiful MD80 by Rotate Sim. Now, I know a lot of you guys will ask me whether I recommend this aircraft or not. Is it worth the asking price? And the answer is yes. This aircraft is definitely worth its asking price. This is not a study level simulation of the MD80, but it is an advanced simulation of the aircraft. And without a doubt, the modeling, the systems are very authentic, and the 3D modeling is very, very nicely done by Rotate Sim. Look at the details there on the wings, the engines, very nice details, and this aircraft really is very nostalgic for a lot of people who flew on the MD80. American Airlines have not painted this aircraft or their MD80s in the new American Airline colors, but I still like this bare metal look. I think it really is, very synonymous with the era. And it looks just great. Really very nicely done. All right, let's hop into the cockpit, ladies and gents. And the cockpit is, again, true to life, very, very similar, very authentic. And it looks very much like the real MD80 cockpit. Very nice detailing all over the aircraft. You can see the texturing there on the flight yoke, on the wheel here, and the overhead panel. Again, looks absolutely gorgeous. Very, very nice attention to detail on all those little analog gauges, the switches and buttons. Everything's just done with a lot of attention to detail. We are using the immersive sound pack today for audio. The default sounds of the aircraft aren't really that good, so I've decided to purchase the immersive audio pack just for this very stream. So, MD80 by Rotate Sim. Yes, sir. Looks okay. All right. So it does look like that. I can't remember the name of it. It's done by the same guy, by Felis. I can't remember the name of the aircraft, but yeah, it does look kind of similar. That greenish color there looks similar. So the first thing is we are going to do the load and balance. So we're going to come here to Navigraph charts, and we're going to look here at our flight plan. We're going to switch this to pounds since we are flying in the United States. And we are going to take note of the block fuel, which is located here at Philly 17,912. So we're going to go to fuel all tax. You can do this individually, but I prefer to just do it here, and it will automatically distribute the center of gravity and does all this calculation for you. So 17,912, 17,912 pounds. We're going to also need the trip fuel, which is 6239. So 6239, and enter that. And then we're going to also do the same thing for the payload. Now you can put the number of passengers, cargo, and all that, but it's just easier to just put the total payload, and it will distribute everything for you automatically. So the payload is 38.8. So we're going to come here and say 38,800. All right, and we want to make sure that nothing here appears in red. If it does, then you have an issue with your fuel and loads, and you have to make adjustments so that you don't get any reds here. So with that done, we're going to go to the next page. We're going to connect the GPU. We're going to open the forward door, and we're going to deploy the stairs. That's for the passenger loading, and you need to open these for the fuel, cargo, and passengers to load properly. We're going to open the cargo door as well, and let's go ahead and start the fuel. We're going to start loading the cargo, and we're going to load the passengers. Now, it will take quite a bit of time for this to complete, so we're going to click on Expedite, and Expedite, and Expedite. And now we can go ahead and close the doors, retract the stairs, and close the forward door as well in preparation for departure. Retracted, and now we can close the forward door as well. Perfect. All right. So now what we can do is start bringing electrical power to the aircraft. We can see that the external power is now available. So let's go ahead and turn it on. Very nice sounds in the cockpit here. We're going to turn on the galley power, start pump for our APU. Emergency lights are armed. No smoking. Seatbelt signs are on. The static METAR select is set on captain. Windshield anti-fog and anti-ice are both turned on. Perfect. Next, we are going to go ahead and start our APU. First, let's test the cockpit voice recorder, and it checks OK. Moving down here, we're going to turn on the APU. So we're going to hold the start here and wait for the APU to start. Right, the APU isn't starting for some reason. Ah, that's because the battery isn't on. All right, so let's do that. Right, APU is starting now. And we're going to turn on the fuel pumps. Everything here is good. Everything here is good. We're going to put this on a line. And let's perform the tests. Glide slope test. Wind shear test. All right, wind shear test is complete. Stall test 1 and 2. Mach speed test 1 and 2. Excellent. And yaw damper on. Moving down here, the altimeter is, I believe, 3003. We'll check that. 29908. So let's set that 29908, 29er. Right, that's 29908, and we'll leave the cabin pressure on auto. Next, we're going to test the lights, and we're going to make sure that all the lights illuminate, which they do, and we are done. Excellent. So everything is done here. Let's check on our APU. APU is now available, so we're going to turn on the APU bleed, if you will, the equivalent of the APU bleed. And we're going to turn on the APU generators and turn off the external power. Excellent. Let's turn on the air conditioning system for the time being. And we'll turn it off for engine start a little later. Okay. So we are pretty much done here with the overhead panel. And let's cancel the master caution. And let's come here now to the cockpit. And let's see here. First thing is we want to bring up the displays. So PFD and ND, the FMC. And we're going to come down here and we'll worry about that a little later. Okay. So everything is done here. We're going to turn on our hydraulics, pumps 1 and 2, auxiliary and trans. And now we see hydraulic. The aircraft is pressurizing the hydraulic system. And we can perform the test A and B. I'm not sure why the sounds aren't there. And we don't get the, the lights. But looks like this is something that requires fixing from Rotate Simspart. We are going to put this on weather TCAS, and now we can program the the FMC. So we're going to go to position init, and we're going to select our current position at Kilo Papa Hotel Lima, which is Philly, and we're going to select the GPS position. And before we do that, let's come over here. And we're going to turn this to nav. All right. Excellent. And we'll put the GPS position here. Next, we're going to go to the route. We are currently at Philly, and we're heading to Boston. So that is Kilo Bravo Oscar Sierra. What would be possible to hear the default sounds too? Not when I have the, obviously not when we have the set here. I have to remove the sound set in order for you to hear it. Hello there, the Giggle Yotis. Welcome. Hello there, Ricardo. Welcome aboard. Thank you very much, SGC. I'm glad to have you here. Thank you very much. Dougal McTavish is in the house, ladies and gents. Welcome. All right, so Boston, and we are American 1134 real world American Airlines. That is, I think, on the A319. So we are AAL 1134. And we'll put that there. And next we can go to the departure. We are departing Philly today, runway 27 left. We're getting the same runway as earlier. So 27 left. There is no SID. We're going to fly direct to ditch. So DITCH. So there we go. Fly direct. And next we're going to take the Quebec. Let's see here. Quebec. I remember Quebec 437 Airway. Quebec 437 Airway. And we're going to exit at Hana. So that is HNN. All right, HNNAH. Right, perfect. And then we're going to go to the next page, and we're going to take Airway Quebec 450. And we're going to exit at JFK. That is a VOR station. So exiting at JFK, and then it's the arrival. So we're going to select the arrival. The arrival is the Roebuck 3 arrival. The transition is JFK. It's the ILS 04 right, and it's the Goshi transition for the approach transition. Next, we're going to go to the flight to the route and activate the route. And now the route is active. Let's go to the legs page real quick and make sure we don't have any discos. And it looks like we have vectors to final here. So this is normally given by ATC. We are going to select Goshi, and we're going to place the vectors here. And it will give us a straight-in approach, runway 04 right at Logan International. Perfect. From the routes page, we can go to perf.int, and we want our fuel. So to do this, we are going to click here, and we're going to put this away here. Let's bring this back. All right, perfect. Now, the fuel, when you enter the fuel, you need to indicate whether you are using the normal schedule or the alternate schedule. And those are denoted by N and A, respectively. So in our case, we're going to use the normal schedule, and that is going to be 17.9. So we're going to just say 18, and we're going to say slash and N, normal, and we're going to put that there. And then we're going to click here. That will automatically update the zero fuel weight, which, as you can see here, is 116799, which is rounded to the nearest 100 to 116.8. The reserve is going to be our final reserve plus the alternate. 5 plus 3, that's 8.8. So we could say 9 for the reserve. The cost index here, as you can see, it reads LRC. LRC stands for Long Range Cruise. And what this actually does is that it gives you 3 to 5% faster cruise at the expense of 1% of range. That's what this means. Now, this one, we cannot obviously put LRC. If we put LRC here, that's not going to work. It's going to say invalid entry. So it expects a number. So we're just going to put 100 here for the cost index. 31,000 feet is our cruise altitude, and the cruise wind is 287.49, 287.49. Excellent. And the ESA deviation is +4, so 4. Transition altitude in the United States is 18,000 feet. Perfect. Hello there, Rick from Brazil. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here with us this evening. All right, let's execute that. Next to the takeoff page, the current outside temperature is, let's see here. If we click here and go to weather, the outside temperature is 26, quite warm, nice and warm. 26, and V1, V2, and V1, V-rotate, and V2. So we've got 162, and we're going to set that here, 162. There we go. 162 is now set. Perfect. All right. So everything pre-flight check is complete. And we can now come to the legs page here. And we can remove that. Let's put this away. All right. So next we are going to come here and set the altitude to 31,000 feet. Our final cruise altitude for the flight today. 31 is set. 31. There we go. And then we're just going to push, we need to turn on our flight directors. Now you can see 31,000 is set here, and we are pretty much here ready to go. And we are going to, let's do a flex takeoff. It sets the EPR automatically at 2.08. Here's our fuel quantity. Everything there looks good. We can test it. Again, here, everything checks fine. Excellent. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to need this CG in order to set our takeoff trim and takeoff flaps. So we are going to bring up the weight and balance again, and we're going to take note of the CG, which is 3.7. So 3.7 is right about there. We're going to do flaps 11 today, and that gives us a trim of 8.9. All right. To set the trim, we are going to come here and just move this here. It takes a bit of time to move the trim to the right spot. And you'll start hearing, stabilizer in motion and things like that. Really, thank you very much, guys, for being here. Good men. Thank you very much. Yes, the TU-154. That is correct. Yes. All right.
Stabilizer motion.
All right. Almost there. We want about 8 point, maybe 8.5, 8.7. We'll just leave it at between the 8 and 9. That should be fine. All right, that's good. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come here and select flap 11. All right, so flaps 11 is now selected. Perfect. We're going to come here and turn on the pneumatic X feed. And that is required, of course, for engine start. And we are now pretty much ready for engine start. So we're going to do just the final check here on the overhead panel. We can disconnect the, let's see here. Let's dismiss the GPU. We don't need it anymore. And now everything here is looking perfect. Okay, time to push out of our position and head over to runway 27 for departure. So we're going to change this to map. We'll hide the yoke initially just to kind of be able to see where we're going. And we are here pretty much ready to go. Let's turn on the anti-collision lights. And we can now start the pushback. So plugins, better pushback, and start push.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
All right,
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
All right, yeah, the tow is on the way. And we are ready to go. Perfect. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me this late for the stream. I really appreciate it. I didn't really think that anyone is going to be available at this hour, but the passion for aviation. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Really, it means a lot that you're all here and watching the stream at this hour. All right. We're getting connected here. Such a long aircraft, the MD80.
All right. Looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
It does look like a mad dog, doesn't it? Hey, Carl. How are you, my friend? Yeah, we're trying again. That's for sure. Hopefully this time it works without incident. The MD80 is such a classic, beautiful aircraft. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I think Rotate Sim has done a really marvelous job on the MD80 and the
Welcome
MD11.
aboard, Captain. Tow's connected. Bypass bends.
Having a sleepless
Go and kill the
night.
parking brake. We're
Hey,
ready to go.
Jafar, how are you, my friend? Well, I am actually feeling a bit sleepy, but I really wanted to do this for you guys today. It felt it was very painful what happened earlier. So, yeah, I decided to come back and do it for you guys. All right, parking brake released.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
All right, we need to turn off the air conditioning system for engine start. And we need system A. Let's open the guards, and let's start with the right engine first. Right engine is now spooling. At 20% N2, we will introduce fuel. I really love this cockpit. So nice. All right, 18, 19, and there we go, fuel. There's another MD80 right there in the Delta livery. Those engine sounds are amazing. And yeah, just for those of you who missed it in the beginning, I am using the immersive audio sound pack for this aircraft, which I highly recommend because the default sounds on this aircraft are really not that good. I like how wheels are turning on standing truck. Yeah, I said earlier in the in the previous stream, that's what we used to do when we were, teenagers, is push the brakes and then push the pedal to the metal and watch the tires smoke. That was our fun. All right. So we have a good start on the right engine. Let's go ahead and start the left engine now. And we are going to turn on the left ignition switch. And again, the second engine now is spooling. 20% N2, and we'll introduce fuel. Right, 20% fuel, and the second engine is now starting. Look at those wings, guys. Wow.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
All right, parking brake set.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
All right, so while everything's getting set up here, let's arm the speed brake. And we're going to come here to the auto brake. We'll set it to takeoff and arm that. Excellent. We have a good start on the second engine, so pneumatic valve is now closed. And we can come here to the overhead panel and turn off the APU generators and turn off the APU. We can turn off the ignition switches and close the guards. And this goes back to the off position. We no longer need the start pump. And we can now turn on the floodlights and the strobe lights as well.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
Thank you very much. The strobe and position lights on the MD80 are automatic, so the strobes won't actually work until the aircraft is airborne, and they will automatically start working. Everything here looks good. Everything here looks good, and we are good to go. All right, let's reset our view, and let's set our flaps for takeoff flaps, which is flaps 11. There we go. We're going to verify that the flaps are in the correct position. There we go. Very nice. Right, we'll make sure flaps 11 selected, and we don't see the disagree message here. Now, we're going to release the parking brake, and we're just going to push the throttles forward, just to make sure that we don't get the warning. And we did not get any warning, so it means the aircraft is properly configured for takeoff. And off we go. Those wings are just really special. Very nice wing flex as well. Very, very nicely done. All right, we're going to continue taxi to runway 27 left today. Hello there. The PFD is an eyesore. But the rest of the aircraft is pretty nice. So yeah, let's cut them some slack on that. Very nice scenery of Philly, and of course, as it is always the case, if you are interested in the scenery for the scenery used in this flight, you can always type !scenery and you'll get the links to both airports used. An exclamation aircraft will give you the link to the Rotate MD80, and this is, by the way, the version for X-Plane 12. Hey, Wycliffe Barrett, welcome aboard, my friend. X-Plane 12 just gets better and better. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. All right, let's take a quick look here on the outside. And yeah, I think that's our turn.
Thank you, 2533.
Right, we're crossing runway 27 right for 27 left. We're going to make sure left and right are clear. Earlier it was a busy day, but looks like, yeah, we don't have as much traffic now. And that's to our advantage. All right, we're heading over to the runway now for runway crossing 27 right for 27 left. All right, and let's go ahead and turn on our landing lights. Now, one thing you'll notice when you turn on the landing lights is that they actually deploy. Just look at that. So cool. They actually retract and deploy, which is pretty cool. All right. Everything else is set. Floodlights are done. And what we can do now is let's make sure this is armed. Yes, all is good here, and we're ready to go. All right, we're going to set the EPR for takeoff. So we're going to click here once says takeoff. And that's 27 left.
Now and comply with the rest of the speeds on the arrival. Expect the ILS runway 24 left approach.
Alrighty. All right, let's line up. Runway 27 left. We are cleared for takeoff. Okay, and we're going to rotate at 155 knots. And auto throttle. There we go. Right, and 155, rotate. Positive rate of climb, gear is going up. Look at this beautiful sight of the MD80 wings. Very, very nice indeed. Right, let me remove the yoke here so we can see. All right, let's begin our turn. Hand flying this aircraft is a true joy. Just really a wonderful, wonderful aircraft to hand fly. Right, let's retract the flaps. And climb. All right, and we're gonna go to VNav, climb, nav, VNav track. We have both here, and now we can turn on the autopilot system. There we go. As long as you see, we have the FMS EPR, nav track, VNav climb, then you have all the correct settings for your autopilot. We have 31,000 set here, so this is what we need for, by the way, the altimeter was 29908, so let's just make sure this is correct. All right, so all is good now. We continue now our climb. And 250 knots, that's the maximum allowed speed below 10,000 feet. So the aircraft will respect the speeds set in the FMC. Hello there, Sam. Alaska Airlines had the incident in the early 2000s where they had the MD80 go inverted in flight due to the jack screw stripping the threads out of its retaining nut. Oh, I think I might have seen that. I might have seen it on the documentary, Midday Air Disaster or something like that. Thank you very much, guys, again, for being with me this late. I really appreciate that. And, yeah, if you're enjoying yourself, please hit that thumbs up button for me. It does really help the channel quite a bit. Right, let's bring back the yoke here. Right, everything is exactly as it should. And we continue now the climb to 31,000 feet. Here's a look at those beautiful wings and clouds, I must say. Does it come with any liveries? Yes, it does come with a number of liveries. I believe it comes with 2 sets. Each one has, I think it comes maybe with 8 or 10 liveries total with the purchase. And those are available to you to download from the same download link where you purchase the aircraft on the X-Plane.org store. Again, very, very lovely detailing on the wings. And you can see now that the strobe lights automatically start working after the aircraft is airborne. Very nice indeed. Right, 10,000 feet. We're going to retract the landing lights, floodlights, and the rest can stay. We're going to put this on auto. There we go. And all is good here. Speed is now increasing as we pass 10,000 feet. We can disarm the speed brake, and let's disarm the auto brake as well. All right, we're on our way to Boston. Back to default scenery, I see. Too bad you don't use Ortho and X-World. Well, I mean, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. This is a kind of off-schedule stream now, so I don't really have much time to prepare things. I really wanted to do the stream for you guys this evening. Literal Games, welcome aboard, my friend. It's good to see you back, Q8 Pilot. Well, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. The only negative is that you can't assign access to speed brakes and flaps with the Honeycomb Bravo. Yep. That you can do, that's for sure. All right, so we are climbing at about 2,000 feet per minute. And it looks like we're going through some clouds here. Maybe a good idea to turn on the anti-icing system. So let's go ahead and do that. Airfill ice pressure abnormal. Huh. All right, all's looking good. 14,000, 431, BNAV climb, nav track, FMS EPR. Things are going as planned. And so far, without incident, thank God. Good evening, Oliver. How are you doing, my friend? You need X feed on for the NTIs. Ah, okay. Where is my X feed? Let's see if we can find it. By the way, we never turned the air conditioning system on. I'm doing very well, Oliver. Thank you very much. Look down central pedestal. Okay. Oh, you mean this one here. Let's see here. Aha. Well, thanks for that. Appreciate it. I hope that Laminar fixes this issue with the artifact when the aircraft goes through the clouds. You see how it looks funny? All right. We're finally out of the clouds. 18,000, Barrow standard. So let's set the altimeter to 29902. Now, in this MD80, there isn't a button to set it to standard, so you're just going to have to dial it in. So setting 29902, which is standard altimeter after 8,000 feet in the United States, which is the transition altitude. All right, everything here is normal, and we'll leave that. Fuel's good. Total fuel, gross weight, all's good here. All's good there. All right, perfect. Continue our climb. Emergency power is in off position. Let's take a look. Emergency power. I don't think you need it. Yeah, I don't think you need it. I mean, that's just in case the battery is discharged. Then you can use the emergency power to charge the battery, so you don't really need it on. All right. Short Aviation. Hello, how are you? I'm Brazilian. Could you help me with how to pronounce the word climb? Well, so pronounce the word climb. I mean, that's how you say it. It's climb. It's k, lie, and then the B isn't really stressed too much. Yeah, it's climb without the B. So the B is silent at the end. So it's climb. Yeah, k, lime. That's how you'd say it. Yeah, we're going to teach linguistics today. That's all right. Silent B, kind of. Yeah, it's a very subtle B. So it's climb. It's like the B is just kind of silent. The MD80 had a previous life with Alitalia. Yes, correct. Correct. think German Wings had it, Delta, American Airlines, a number of airlines had it before. Yeah. Here's again a look at those beautiful wings above those beautiful clouds today. Looks pretty neat, huh? McDonnell Douglas and their panel layouts. Yeah. It's a pretty, it's a pretty fine airplane. For its day, I think it served the purpose, and it was one of the most advanced during that era. It was a loved aircraft. It was very noisy, and the fuel consumption is just to the roof with this aircraft. Right, let's see if I can get rid of some of these sounds here. Yeah, that I don't want. Yeah, so those sounds are from the sound pack. Okay. So, I've done some testing on Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, and it appears to me that the flight model in 2024 is so broken that all the aircraft fly pretty much the same, regardless of the size, the weight, wingspan, size of the aircraft, your fuel and weight and balance. They all fly pretty much the same. There are very few exceptions, but almost all the airliners fly exactly the same. And this was the reason that I felt the Inibuild's A350 flew like paper. And it does in 2024, but so does almost all of the other airliners. So I think the flight model in 2020 is better than 2024. I'm learning English, and sometimes English is spoken quickly, but I still understand it. Well, good luck to you, my friend. Hello, Q8. Is it a second stream? Yes, perfect combination. The first stream was disastrous, and the sim crashed 2 times, not once. So, yeah, we decided to do this late stream. Any updates coming to Explain 12? Things been silent? No, actually, things haven't been silent. There is 12.2.0 coming very soon for Explain, and it's going to bring a host of features, and the 3 main fixes, one being the dark cockpits, so they're going to fix the shadow, and improved clouds is another, and I forget what's the third one, but those are going to be the highlights of the upcoming update from Laminar. Right. All is good here. By the way, we forgot this to put into TRA. Now, by the way, to set the transponder, let me show you. I think it's worthwhile mentioning here. Now, if you move this, it's obviously going to move only this last digit. So the outer knob is where you select which one of these digits you want to change your transponder. So if I want to change this one, I'll select the first digit here. We'll make that 2. We'll make the second one 0, so that's IFR in the States 2000, and we'll leave that. So that's above alt 1 and 2, transponder 1 and 2. We can test that, I think, as well. Yeah, you can see it here. I don't think you get anything, you just get the range. There we go. You don't get the senses. TCAS test passed. So you didn't get that, but you just get the, the lights. Right, 28,000 for 31,000 feet. And we're almost at cruise altitude. And by the way, the top of descent is not too far. So if I hide the yoke here, and if we go to 40, there you go. That's top of descent. So not sure that we're going to make it to 31,000 feet, but shortly thereafter we're going to begin the descent. So $2,000 feet, yeah, maybe we'll make it. Beautiful aircraft. So that's TC, and then it's TD. They're right after each other. All right, so that's 1,000 feet to go. And then we'll begin the descent shortly thereafter. So, yeah, they're very close to one another. Short hop today to Boston. All right, there we go. The TCAS test oral pass is only on ground when testing. Oh, gotcha. Thanks for that, 777 guy. Appreciate that. All right. So we are now at cruise altitude, and VNAV level is displayed here, as you can see. And now we're going to begin the descent very shortly, and you will see that this will automatically show VNAV descent. So all of this is done very well. So what we're going to do is we're going to descend to, let's see, we're going to go to, let's see, I think it's 1,500 feet. So we're just going to say 1,500, and we'll check now. As soon as we pass top of descent, the aircraft will begin the automatic descent on its own. So we'll just wait for that. You'll see here that this changes to VNAV descent. Let's wait and take a look at that, and then we'll double check the platform altitude. As you can see now, VNAV descent is displayed, the throttle is retarded, and the aircraft has begun the descent towards Boston. Again, very short flight. Lovely clouds today. Let's take a quick look here. Look at that, guys. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Just lovely. Just lovely. All right. So, let's double check our platform altitude here. Navigraph charts, runway 04 right, approach, ILS, and there's the ILS. So it's going to be straight in through the Goshi. This is the approach transition into our into Boston, runway 04 right. We're going to be performing an ILS approach. And the only thing that we need to do now is we need to come here and go to the init reference. You can see the frequency is already set to 110.3. Approach course is set as well to 3. I think it's 350 degrees, 35 degrees, 035 degrees. Wind correction, we're going to add 5 and execute that. How about today we do flaps 40, guys? What do you think? You want to do flaps 40 today or flaps 28? I fly mostly hand fly VFR and can't play more than 10 minutes of 2024. I just can't. Yeah. Too bad the FJS 727 isn't updated to explain. Yeah, that is a real shame. My only concern is that the bulk of the dev studios quickly switched to MSFS for the market share, and most have abandoned X-Plane. That is true, and it is a real shame this has happened, but doing flaps 40, you just have to remember not to pull the throttle too early. You will drop like a stone. So it is the more difficult one, I would assume then, Carl. So you know what? Let's do a flaps 40. How about that? We'll do a flaps 40 just for extra fun. Push the limit and make Q8 pilots sweat. All right, let's go to Lex page here. Excellent. 23, so we are doing good. Right on the descent. Perfect. Those clouds are really nice, guys. Look at that. Yeah. All right, here we go. 22. Looks like there's a restriction there. But this is looking really, really nice. Top Gun 722, hi Captain. Will you ever fly the AKD Studio Gulfstream 654 Explain 12? You know, Top Gun, it's actually my bad that I haven't done a flight review on the AKD 650. I do have the aircraft, and it was actually given to me by the developer, but I just really haven't had time, and always something always comes in the way, but we will definitely take a look at it. Yeah, the ground physics in 2024 needs work. The entire, you know, flight model in 2024 needs work. So right now I would probably stick with 2020 if you still have it installed. Tell you guys, it's now 1:41 a.m. in Kuwait, and I must tell you that I am feeling very sleepy right now. All right. All right, all is looking good. We continue the descent towards Boston. Do the ground speed thing, brother. Ah, I see. Thank you, Alfredo. Okay, ground speed. How do you do that, Carl? Do you know? Red eye for Q8, definitely. I am feeling very sleepy. Good luck, we're all counting on you. Set course in MCP. Oh, yeah, thanks for reminding me. All right, so let's come over here, 110.3. So 110.3, and the approach course is 3.5. Right, so that's set, and 110.3. 110.3 and 35 for the approach course. All right, there we go. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. And by the way, we can turn off the NTIs for now. All right, there we go. Things are starting to get dark, so let's bring some lights to the cockpit. And let's go up here. Turn the panel lights, floodlights. There we go. Much better in terms of visibility now. Control T is time. Alt T is ground speed. Ah, I see. Well, we are descending now, Carl, so is it wise to do this now as the aircraft descends? I have a question. Those who have tries, which is better, auto ortho or map enhancement? In all honesty, map enhancement is better. It is better. But I've had issues with it personally. You can't go to sleep before getting a successful flight. Yeah. You can hit and cycle through to 1x when you want to go to normal. Hello there, Mr. Valero. Welcome. It's up to you. I don't know, Carl. I'm just, you know, I don't want to get into a situation where the sim crashes again. I'm too tired for that to happen again. What happened? I thought it was this evening. I was busy with my wife. Well, the sim crashed on us, unfortunately, twice, not once. Is auto-ortho good for X-Plane 12? Yes, it is. So we had a couple of crashes. We restarted after the first crash, and the sim crashed yet again. So we decided to call it a day. But then, like you guys said, yeah, I couldn't sleep without completing the flight. So, all right, let's get the altimeter at Boston. Let's go to weather. Altimeter is 3019. All right, so 3019. 3019. There we go. Oof. All right, let's go to... There we go. I think I turned these off earlier. We shouldn't have done that. But we'll have the anti-icing system turned on now as we approach Roebuck. That's the beginning of our star into Boston. At least I got to see the approach. Yep. Separate app that has to run before you start X-Plane. Yeah. I guess you guys are still talking about auto-ortho. Looks like the weather is going to be dreadful. Let's take a quick look at the weather here. So at Boston, we have 030, 11 knot wind. Oof. Visibility is 6 nautical miles. We have slight rain. We have overcast at 1,000 feet. Altimeter 3019. Yeah. So it's going to probably be rough. And the visibility is very low. Temperature, oof. Yeah, it looks like the weather's going to be really bad. So, again, you guys, I'm sure that you guys absolutely love it when the approach is difficult and when it stresses me out. So, we're good. We are good. It's Boston. The weather is awful. 300 days a year. I guess so. I was going to use say intentions today for the flight. But again, last minute I said, you know what? I don't want to introduce too many applications because I don't know what can break it. So I thought we'll just leave it alone. Yeah, the weather is very dreadful. Too bad we don't get to enjoy the beautiful approach into Boston. Right. So one thing to note on the MD80 is the limit for the speed. So for the flaps down, 11, 280 knots, 15, 240, 28 to 40, that's the limit for the speed is 200 knots. So you can't go above these speeds for these flap settings. So, and that's of course for the slats. So we're doing good. In terms of the descent, if we look here, we have a restriction. We have to be above 11,000, which we are. And this is Goshi. Once we're here, we're pretty much there. So let's go to next page. Yeah, we still have 10, 14, 19, 25, 28, 35. I think we should be fine. Wow. We can't see a thing, can we? Gotta learn this jet. Seems fun. It is absolute fun to have the MD80 and X-Plane 12. Wonderful aircraft. And the part that I love the most about this aircraft is hand flying it. It's going to be a tough landing. Hey, Jesse, how are you? Yes, it looks like it's going to be. But, hey, that's what you guys like, right? You like it when the weather is really terrible. And landing an MD-11, and what's going to make it even more difficult is that we're going to use flaps 40 today. So with flaps 40, it's a little bit more difficult. We have to be very careful with the throttles, as Carl has pointed out. So thanks, Carl, for that. All right, we're approaching 10,000 feet. We're going to turn on the landing lights. Landing lights are on, and floodlights are on. Wing lights as well. Why not? All right. There's 10,000. Speed is reducing as well. All right. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to extend the speed brake a little bit to bring the speed down. And I am actually going to... What is our speed? 370. Okay, so I'm going to go to FMS override. Okay, and I'm going to reduce the speed to 180 knots. There we go. 180. Nope, not yet. Let's cancel the... All right, so now we can go to flaps 11. All right, that's 180. Not yet. All right. We'll leave it there for now. We'll go to flaps 15, slats 15. All right, let's take a quick look here. I'm gonna also set the heading bug to point to the direction of travel. It's gonna be very bumpy, yes sir. Yeah, it's going to be very rough, guys. It's very obvious that it's going to be very, very rough. Okay, here's the transition into our approach. So this is Goshi. We are at 180 knots. We can see the localizer and glide slope needles there appearing in the PFD. And things are getting darker. So hopefully we can see the runway lights when we approach Boston, and I'll have to remember the note from Carl about the throttles. All right. Wish me luck, guys. And everything else here is looking good. Perfect. We're almost there now. Just really lovely aircraft. All right. So what we're going to do, folks, is we are going to come here now, and let me bring the lights up here so you guys can see. There we go. That's much better. And we're going to go ILS, and now you'll see that the ILS is activated. And you can see it here, lock track, localizer track. So, again, this indicates that this is the runway, 04 right is coming up. We are at 180 knots right now. We are going to reduce our speed now to 160 knots. Okay, we'll ignore this warning. And the airport is ahead now. We are looking good. And we are going to go to flaps 28. No, we'll leave it for now. Okay, let's make sure the speed brake is armed and the auto brake is set for landing. Okay, we'll say medium. And X-feed is off, and engine NTIs is off, all of that good stuff. Okay, we are looking good. There is an overcast at 1,000 feet, so below 1,000 feet probably we'll be able to see the runway, not before. Here's our legs page again. All right, so 3,000, we need to be above 3,000 feet. So there's restriction there. 210 knots. We don't need to worry about those speeds. I am a little worried about this one here, so maybe we'll add a fuel. We'll leave it for now. That's okay. All right. So all is looking good. Those lights are really nice, I have to say. Right, we're looking good, folks. Visibility is non-existent at this point in time, but hopefully we'll have a visual reference. We'll have a visual on the runway before we land. Okay. Hello there, Ali. Eid Mubarak to you, my friend. Thank you very much for being here this evening. Looks like you are a We're staying up late as well. 6 miles, not too bad. It's not 1/2 a mile. Yes, it's not bad. It's okay. So we should be fine. And everything's looking good here. We are approximately, if we look here, so we are actually very close now. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to go to flaps 28. And we're going to select gear down. Let's go to 150 knots. The final is what? Was 137. Okay. All right, folks, we are looking good. And we still don't have a visual reference. We don't have a visual of the runway. Yeah, nothing to see. That's true. Now, it says here there's an auto land feature. I'm not sure if actually it works. But we're going to try it. Maybe we'll try it. I don't know. It does have an auto land button here. I've never tried this before. So it could actually, I think we're fine. We'll have a visual on the runway shortly. There we go. We have a visual. A beautiful approach here into Boston Logan International Airport. We're going to go to 141. Let's go to flaps 40. Flaps 40 is set. We'll disconnect at 1,000 feet and I'll take command of the aircraft. Yeah, look at X-Plane, guys. Just gorgeous. Right, auto GA, GS track, that's glide slope track, and go around mode is activated. Right, we're looking good. Just look at the wing condensation there, just lovely. What a beautiful view here with the flaps completely deployed, 1,000 feet. And there we go, autopilot disengaged. My aircraft. What a joy to hand fly this aircraft. What a beautiful approach as well into Boston. We can land on that ship.
500. 400. 300.
Auto throttle off.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
280 knots, manual braking. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Logan International in Boston, Massachusetts. Woohoo! Beautiful! All right, let's take a look at our landing. That was a really nice approach. Really enjoyed that. Right, we'll just give it, yeah, we'll put it right there. The Nightlight mod by Drashal has just really made this a beautiful approach. All right, there we go. Let's remove that. Check it out, guys. What a lovely arrival into Boston there. Tower view. So what did you guys think of that landing? Here, we'll do it again. This time with a close-up. Right in the touchdown zone as well. Now we got to do it one more time, guys, with the wing view. So let's do that. We'll do it on the other side. Yeah, this side. All right, we'll put it back here and enjoy the water view here as we approach Boston. There we go. Oop, no, not that. There we go. Look at that wing condensation, guys. Wow, just beautiful.
40, 30, 20, 10.
You have got to love X-Plane, guys. Look at that wing flex. Very, very cool. All right. So the replay is off. We can retract the flaps. And there we go. Landing lights are off. The strobes will automatically, if you look here, see the strobes are not working anymore because the aircraft has landed. And so it is completely automated. Even if the strobe switch is in the on position, they don't actually turn on unless the aircraft is airborne, which is pretty cool. Well, I hope I hope I made it up to you from earlier. All right, we'll leave the lights on. The position light, wing lights we can turn off. Well, thank you very much. 2:10 a.m. in Kuwait time. Yes. Excellent stream. Good work. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. Look at this night lighting. Just really in X-Plane is something else. This airport, by the way, is... ooh, look at that. An A340. Just landed here at Lufthansa. Very, very nice. This airport is actually a freeware airport by Mr. X. One of the best renditions, really, of freeware airports. This is a payware quality airport that is completely free, and it is one that I also highly recommend. Very, very nice, very nicely done by Mr. X. So yeah, if you like to fly into Boston, this is definitely an airport that I highly recommend. Very, very nicely done, and it's completely free of charge as well. So. Looks like the runway is still pretty wet from the rain. It's a long taxi back to the terminal. The airport is wet, yes. And there we go. That's the terminal. We're almost there now. Let's go and turn on the APU. Very lovely flight today, this evening, or this morning for me. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. And again, guys, I really want to thank you for being here, because you are the reason the stream is successful or not. So thank you very much for being here. Hello, Shocker. How are you, my friend? Glad to have you with us this evening. Definitely was some landing. Look at this airport, guys. Freeware. Can you believe it? All right, parking brake is set. And APU power available. So let's bring back the APU there. And we're going to bring back the... Why is this? All right, there we go. And we're going to kill the engines. And the aircraft's being powered off. There you go. Well, folks, this brings us to the conclusion of this live stream. And thank you very much, Captain Shocker. Appreciate it, my friend. And yeah, this was... I used Traffic Global by Just Flight for X-Plane. By far the best AI traffic program available for X-Plane 12 without a doubt. Ladies and gents, I want to thank you very much for being with me this evening during this rather late stream for me. It's been quite fun, and thankfully we've completed the stream today without incident for the second time after the catastrophic first stream that we've had today. It's been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the interaction with all of you guys. Thank you for the valuable information. Thank you, everyone, all the moderators, for the support. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun, but it's time for me now to hit the sack because it is getting very late. So until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, and good night.